Welcome everyone. Hope everyone is having a wonderful day. In today's live stream, we'll be talking about, is it now finally time to go ahead and buy into the market? Before I do go ahead and get started, I do want to mention that none of this is financial advice, and this is solely for educational purposes only, and it's solely my opinion. So as you guys see, it's been a pretty freaking crazy market these last couple weeks, couple days. Market has been dumping like crazy. And as you see on this article, crypto crash pushes fear and greed index to the lowest since Bitcoin traded at 17,000 in early 23. Completely like just my mind shut down for like a cool minute. So let's go ahead and share this live stream with the community. Hope all of you are having a wonderful day today. So let's go ahead and start sharing this with the Discord. See who joins us today. Gonna go ahead, go right here, add DeFi John, or sorry, add everyone. I'm gonna go ahead and put we are live, join me. Alrighty, we got that out the way. Make sure to go ahead and support the channel by using my Blofin link down below in the description. $5,000 in sign-up bonuses, no KYC. Literally takes less than 3 seconds to go ahead and create an account. Go ahead and use it down below. So let's go ahead and get started. So let's start off with Bitcoin. Let's go ahead and see what's going on with Bitcoin. As we do see, today is Saturday, depending on the time we're watching, but I am recording this on a Saturday night, and the stock market closed pretty well. So as a lot of you know, I usually say that if the stock market closes green on a Friday, it typically means that we will have some bullish green momentum in the next coming week. So I'm pretty confident to say that we should probably go ahead and have a pretty bullish week ahead of us. Obviously we still could go ahead and get rejected at these levels, and it might just be creating some higher lows, right? So we'll see where things go. But one thing that really stood out to me the most is the DXY. So the DXY is actually getting rejected at a major area of support. It could be a fake out, you know, we could go ahead and have a reverse. But I've been eyeing the DXY for the last couple days. And as you see, I did mention on my last live stream, I talked about the DXY getting rejected at 105 and falling down below it would be extremely bullish for us, right? And this would definitely indicate that we could expect the DXY to continue to dump. Well, you also have to keep in mind, this could be a reversal where it just dumps out of nowhere and then just reverses and we still continue to go up, right? So we do have to be in the lookout for that, but I think chances are we are probably the DXY probably topped. And the reason why I'm also saying that is because if we actually go to our indicators and we go ahead and check out the RSI, on the RSI it actually did get rejected, right? So this is very, very interesting behavior that we're seeing right now. Doesn't mean we can't go ahead and, you know, reverse from here and go back up. Hey, what's up, Tillery? Long time no see, buddy. How you been, man? And as you see right here, the RSI has fallen through. So this is definitely a good time for the market. I have been loading up on the meme tokens. I have been loading up, I was going to say altcoins, but I haven't been loading up on the altcoins. I've been loading up on the meme tokens, but I have definitely been keeping my eye on the altcoins. And the reason why is because I think we are near a bottom. Like, if this is not the bottom, we're near one. And the reason why I say that is, as I mentioned right here with Bitcoin, it's at a decent levels right now. We are seeing what appears to be some sort of support possibly. Obviously, if we do go ahead and get rejected at this range where we're at right now, we could go ahead and go down and go as low as 50,000. But I think even if we go down to 50,000, there's a probability we will. Okay, so I'm not going to go ahead and sit here and lie to you and tell you that there's no probability that we go ahead and hit 50,000. There's a pretty high probability that we do hit 50,000. Now, if we were to hit 50,000, it won't be bearish at all. And the reason why is because there's actually a lot of strong support at this range. Like, my worst case scenario for Bitcoin is we see Bitcoin fall within or around 47 to 48,000. Like, this is like the worst case scenario that I think, that if Bitcoin does go ahead and get rejected, and this is not bullish. Worst case scenario is that we're going to go ahead and see a quick dump all the way to 48, 47. People are going to get freaked out, and then we're going to go ahead and see a massive reversal to the upside. And there's going to be a massive liquidity graph for a lot of longs or a lot of shorts wrecking the longs out of their position, right? So like from this top to this bottom, this would be a nice little 36% retracement, which, you know, as a lot of you know, Bitcoin, that's pretty normal for Bitcoin. It's pretty normal for Bitcoin to do a 30 to 40% retracement. And we've actually haven't received that kind of retracement, right? So as I mentioned, worst case scenario is we see Bitcoin fall down within this range right here, and I'm just basing it off, you know, resistance. It's really from prior resistance, you know, resistance becomes support. So this is really where I'm looking at it from this perspective, that worst case scenario we see this kind of action happen where, you know, it does fall down below. Well, one thing that I did find interesting though, that I do want to go ahead and mention, that if this is bullish and this is the bottom for Bitcoin and the whole market, is that this looks very similar to what we had over here back in April, right? We had this inverse head and shoulders pattern right here, and as you see, once that neckline broke out, which is actually our point of control, it actually went up, right? It did get rejected in a dump. It was practically a fake out too as well. But what I went ahead and I did was I actually went ahead and I grabbed this the candlestick somewhere from over here, and I literally just pasted them here like 2 days ago, and it's almost been kind of following it identically, right? So we're gonna go ahead and see if this becomes an inverse head and shoulders pattern. I'm thinking this could be a possibility where this is an inverse head and shoulders pattern right here. So we'll see if this happens. Like I said, we could still go ahead and get rejected from these levels right here and fall down to $47,000, $48,000, which would definitely shake out a lot of people. Like, people will go ahead and freak out, and maybe this is not the shoulder, right? Maybe this is the start of the inverse head and shoulders pattern right here. So very interesting to go ahead and see. As I mentioned, my confidence really just relies right now on the DXY. The fact that the DXY did get rejected at that 104, it makes me feel a little bit more confident, especially on a weekend. Typically when we see that on a weekend, where we see the DXY get rejected on a Friday leading onto the weekend, it typically means there's bullish news ahead of us, right? And also the stock market did close between bullish to neutral on Friday as well, right? So that's the reason why I'm pretty confident that the bottom is near. I wouldn't say the bottom essentially is in now. I would say the bottom is definitely near. So we'll see where things go moving forward. But let's go ahead and take a look at crypto bubbles. So crypto bubbles, as you see right now on the hourly, it currently is down quite a bit, and on the daily right now, it looks a little decent. It's probably going to go ahead and load up a little bit red. Let's see what it does. But overall, the market has been doing pretty well these since Friday. Friday, actually, the market kind of slightly started to pick up, and then Friday towards midnight, depending on your time zone. Midnight my zone was picking up, you know, so it was actually pretty good. Now, I'm not completely confident that this is the bottom, so that's kind of the reason why I'm not claiming that this is, you know, the time to go ahead and go all in. But essentially, I have been pushing a while back to go ahead and start dollar cost averaging, right? Tillery says, good analysis, fam. I appreciate you, bro. Hope you're doing well, man. How's work been, by the way? So it's a very interesting time that we're seeing right now in the market. I think it's just really a shakeout. We also do have the Ethereum ETFs that are being kind of hyped up that are also coming up. So that's what we're currently seeing right now. Tillery says, what's the play for the day, man? Honestly, I've literally just been dollar cost averaging on the meme tokens that I've been very bullish on. It's a handful of them. I'll go ahead and definitely go through them right now. But if you have any alpha, man, feel free to go ahead and share that. So looking at the fear and greed chart right now, we are seeing these levels of fear. And as we talked about on our last live stream, I mentioned that, you know, you usually want to be buying into the market when there is fear in the market, right? Not financial advice, but that is essentially when you want to be buying. You don't want to be buying towards the greediness, when people are excited, when people are happy. You want to do the opposite. You want to buy when people are scared of the market, and you want to start selling as the market becomes greedy, right? And that's essentially what we're seeing right now. So I do believe this is a buying the dip opportunity. Even if you were to go over to CoinMarketCap right now, there's a lot of tokens that I've been watching, such as Aerodrome, which has dumped freaking a lot, bro. It's freaking insane. Like, this is like a buying opportunity. Like, I just don't understand the people that are complaining and crying in the market. It's like, I honestly hope and I wish, low-key, that the market dumps more. Like, that's realistically what I want to see, and that's what you should want to see as well, right? Like, if the market going down right now panics you, there's two things, right? You're either overly leveraged in your positions, or two, you don't understand what you're doing. And when you don't understand what you're doing and you're not confident in what you're doing, you're gonna go ahead and panic and get scared, right? I learned from my mistakes these last couple months, man. Like, I learned to stop leverage trading. Like, I stopped leverage trading. Like, I haven't been leverage trading. I've literally just been dollar cost averaging. I've been playing it boring. Luckily, I've been kept very, very busy, so that's kind of the reason also why I've been working like 12-hour days. So that's been keeping me busy. Work has been keeping me busy, and honestly, that has been like the best thing ever, because I'd be probably losing my mind in this market just looking at the charts, which I still go ahead and look at the charts, right? I'm still up to date with what's going on with the market, but I'm just not putting the same energy as I used to. And obviously it's a little different now, especially with the fact that, you know, my prior channel, Altcoin John, for a lot of those that you know, were wondering where I've been and what happened to that channel. So essentially with that channel, the reason why I was no longer able to post on that channel was because essentially I didn't own that channel. So I actually signed a contract with a company to pretty much, they were supposed to help me grow, right? Which they never did. And they promised a lot of things, which I won't go into details, but that's maybe on some other video in the future. Honestly, it doesn't really matter, right? Because essentially I'm grateful for them in the sense that they ignited my passion into making content. Like, I've been making content for years, like since I was like probably like 16 or 18, I think. I started making content in fashion and like making like clothes reviews and stuff like that. Gaming channels when I was younger in the COD days. When FaZe Clan was actually like a FaZe thing, like for gaming and trick shotting and stuff like that. When gaming was up and coming, right? That's when I really started like content creation. But when I started Altcoin John, that was really where like it brought up my passion again. And as a lot of you know, this channel DeFi John used to be called Lux Fiat, which used to be my my consulting company for crypto last bull run. And essentially I ran that with a buddy, Billy Blockchain, for all of you that know that. Essentially, you know, the market crash happened, and I was going through a lot of personal things, right? So unfortunately I wasn't able to continue with that channel, but I did get this opportunity with Altcoin John, and I'm very grateful for the company to reignite that passion in me and realize like my capability and really reignite that passion that I have, right? And I realize now back, like prior with Altcoin John, I had to stream, bro. Like, it wasn't like if I wanted to or if I felt like it, because essentially I was under contract, so I was obligated to stream 7 days a week. Like, it didn't matter how I felt, I had to stream 7 days a week, right? I had to make at least 2 to 3 videos a day. So that's the reason why my grind was so big, was because not only was I promised a lot of things with this company that I was going to get if I was going to put in the work, but I was grinding to get monetized and really grow as a content creator, right? Unfortunately, I ended up, you know, deciding to move forward with that company. I actually got cut off, bro. They actually cut me off. So I got monetized, and then they cut me off, dude. So that was pretty screwy. But I'm grateful for that, because that gave me another opportunity with a better company in crypto that I actually enjoy doing. And I actually have the total freedom to post whatever I want in this video now, right? With Altcoin John, I was very limited on what I could say, what I could talk about, and what I could really go ahead and do, right? So I felt like I couldn't be myself 100% with the channel Altcoin John. Essentially, I had to go ahead and be like this persona to go ahead and be able to keep this thing running. And honestly, dude, it was super freaking exhausting, like mentally, emotionally. Like it's been a pretty tough year with the streaming, honestly, especially with the Altcoin John channel. And now it's like I feel freed, man. It's like I started this channel, DeFi John. I could post whatever the fuck I want. I could say whatever the fuck I want. I don't have to really watch out for what I say. I have the freedom to do videos and talk about topics and content about whatever I want to do. I don't have to report to anybody. I'm not obligated to go ahead and do live streams, right? So like it's a whole different ballgame. Like when you're obligated to like do something, it's not as fun. Like at first it was very cool to go ahead and be streaming, but when there was nothing to talk about in the market, or when your performance was based on the market, like my performance was based on how the crypto market performed. Like how the fuck do I have control of that, right? And then that's when numbers decrease, like your viewership, subscriber count. And typically times like what we're going through right now in the market is usually the time channels do very bad, right? Crypto channels only do good when people are making money. That's like the worst part about, I would say, being a crypto, I guess, influencer. Like your content really depends on how the market's reacting, because essentially if the market's down, people do not want to watch crypto content because they're too sad and they're in their feelings, and they're too busy crying instead of like, you know, owning up to it and realizing like, shit, like what's going on in the market, how can I learn from this, right? So essentially most people just want to hear when moon, and that's really what all they care about. And that's why we start to see a decrease in channels, right? And that does affect a lot of obviously monetize and all that. Anyways, that's a little background to all those that have always asked me, like with Altcoin John. Like I disappeared, one, because I had to go ahead and work on myself. I had to go ahead and work on things, and two, those things were outside of my control. Like at one point, I can't remember what month it was, but at one point when I was done posting on Altcoin John, I was still working behind the scenes, but I wasn't able to post on that channel. Like I had no ownership to that channel. I essentially signed like almost like a 360 deal, bro. Like straight up. You know what I mean? It's like they had full control ownership to that name and to everything that I did. But as I mentioned, it wasn't something that I wanted to do. It was something that I was more forced to. I did whatever it took to go ahead and keep that channel. I put in the work. You know, I remember making content for freaking doing at least uploading sometimes 3 to 4 videos a day, man. So I really grinded it, and it really exhausted me. So when I got the chance to not go ahead and post content, it was like so relieving. I was like, fuck, dude, this is so fucking amazing. I needed this shit. And now I got my game back up and running, right? I'm doing my own shit, bro. So I'm really excited with what we're gonna be doing moving forward. A lot of massive things that I have planned. We'll see where the uploading thing goes. I'm gonna try to make it a habit of at least doing it once a week, twice a week. Unfortunately, with the new gig that I have, it's consuming me, man. I'm super exhausted. I'm waking up super early in the morning. I'm barely sleeping. Like I'm telling you, I'm working like freaking 12-hour days, bro. Like it's crazy, but I love it. I enjoy it. I literally wake up every morning excited, but I'm literally just running on caffeine right now, bro. Like today I was super fucking exhausted. Like today I'm not even supposed to work, but I still went ahead and I took a client early in the morning, just to go ahead and do it, right? Because I was like, you know what, bro, we got to put in the work because we're here to make money, man. And when the market's like this, you just got to stop being a bitch. Straight up, you just got to stop being a bitch. You got to go ahead and fucking get up. If you don't want to wake up, like sometimes, like I have 2 alarms set up because I can't wake up in the morning when I'm waking up. And obviously I would rather sleep, but then I just remember my why, right? I remember the reason why I'm doing this, and that's what you have to essentially ask yourself. Like when you're not in the mood of working out, when you're not in the mood of like waking up, going to work, you have to ask the reason why you're doing it, right? Are you doing it for your family? Are you doing it for your kids? Are you doing it for your mom? Are you doing it for your dad? Maybe your sister, maybe a loved one, wife, husband, daughters, whatever the case is, right? And that's really what's going to ignite that fire under you to go ahead and keep you going, right? So like I remember my why every day when I wake up in the morning, and I remember why I'm doing this, right? So I'm definitely looking forward to what the future is going to bring us in the next 6 to 8 months. Very, very fucking excited for that. Not only in what my personal growth is going to be, but also as a content creator and in crypto, bro. It's like once retail starts coming in, like this shit's gonna be so much fucking fun. We're gonna go back to the days when the channel was like had a decent amount of freaking viewers in here, right? I'm gonna be completely honest, dude. Growing a crypto channel is like the fucking hardest thing ever. Like straight up, dude. It's super difficult, and but like I said, I'm definitely excited to what kind of content we're going to be doing. I know September, a lot of my work should be a little bit more lenient, I would say. I'm sure I'll still be working a lot, but in the next coming weeks, I should have a better schedule where I could go ahead and schedule myself a bit better and go ahead and get this up and running, because I honestly do feel like I'm hitting that zone right now where I'm just like exhausted, bro. And I'm sure a lot of you could understand that, right? A lot of you could understand that and comprehend that. So all I gotta do is just, I'm gonna get back, man. I'm gonna get back. If it's me doing content in the weekends, so be it. We're gonna do it in the weekends, right? But essentially my goal would be to start uploading again 2 to 3 times a week. I think we could definitely make it happen. I do not want to commit to that yet, because as I mentioned, I really don't know. I'm gonna be completely honest, man. Like my career right now, it's more important. Like just straight up, like my career is way more important right now than creating content. I would rather focus on that right now and then creating content second, right? Like creating content, it's like you got to follow where the money's at, man. At the end of the day, you got to go where the money is at. You know what I mean? You got to do what's making you money. And making content right now is not making me too much money, right? I am making money here and there from sponsored deals. Shout out to Anonymous. Shout out to Marvin on bass. But essentially, freaking Anonymous has been freaking sponsoring us pretty well. But unless I get to a point where like I can make a living off of content creation on my own without having to sign with a company, then I could probably consider, going all in onto my channel. But even then, man, the channel fluctuates with where the market's going, and depending on where the market's going, that just has too much impact, and I'm just not willing to go ahead and do that, right? And like mentally I've been so much fucking better, bro. Like I'm not mentally wrecked as I used to be these last couple months ago when I was running the Altcoin John channel, right? So yeah, it's a little rant, man. I think at the end of the day, like, let's be completely fucking honest. Like, this market's probably gonna go down, and we're probably gonna gain a little bit of hope. But at the end of the day, like, I'm just here to be completely honest, right? And if you don't fucking like to hear what I gotta tell you, then just unsubscribe, dislike this video, and then like leave. Like, I'm not here to really please you. I'm not here to please anybody. Like, I'm really here to go ahead and do content for those that really need the help, right? Because in my opinion, I really do believe I'm providing a lot of value, and it's up to you to decide what you want to do with that information, right? I do have a few meme tokens in mind. We're going to go ahead and talk about the meme tokens that I've been. As you see, Crody is still one that I'm pretty bullish on. I do see some people have joined. Let's go ahead and see the questions that Tillery has said. Work been good and hot, LOL, but yeah, nice hearing from me. How you been doing? I've been good, man. Been good. Cali weather's definitely been hitting me as of lately. It's tokens that come out all day, every day, LOL, just about G'd in and G'd out. Some are good conviction plays. Yeah, I haven't done any crazy degenerate plays on the crypto market. I mean, I guess you would call like the ones that I'm in right now. Like, I would say these are pretty degenerate tokens. But let's go ahead and look at the smart contract you provided. Daddy Tate. I've been seeing this around. 95 million market cap, bro. It's fucking insane. Yeah, I've been seeing this around. I haven't been doing any like degen. Like I'm doing degen stuff, but like not like new tokens right now. Yeah, let's see where this goes. Essentially, I don't know what the hype is behind this. I mean, it is seems to be like Tate's token, some shit like that. Did Tate actually release his token? Dude, the website doesn't fucking load up. All right, there you go. Oh, I think that is actually Tate's token. Yeah, I haven't done any super adhesion stuff like that. I wouldn't say I haven't because I am on Crody, bro, and Crody hasn't been doing too well. And I've been dollar cost averaging, bro. I've been like fucking doubling down on this shit. So I have a feeling this is gonna play out for me very, very fucking well. Alongside with like the Andy and the Benny tokens, I think they're gonna do very, very well. But honestly, I've also came to realizing that, you know, realistically there's a possibility this thing could still drop another 40 to 50%. And I'm gonna be completely honest, I've never thrown in like 13 Sol into a meme token, and that's essentially how deep I am with Crody right now. I'm like almost 14 Sol. I'm like 13.8 or 13.5 Sol in. So like I'm like literally about to hit 14 Sol, and I might just, you know, move some money and make it evenly 14 Sol. But I'm essentially, let's call it 14 Sol deep into Crody. I think I'm down about 35 or 40% right now on Crody. So essentially I just been dollar cost averaging, right? So we'll see where things go for Crody, but I'm pretty bullish on this. Like I said, mentally I'm prepared for the position. I really don't like these tokens just don't move me, man. Like when you're so confident with when you know what the market's gonna do and what's gonna happen in the next 6 to 8 months, like you just don't worry about the price action as of now, right? Like if you believe in something, you should buy whatever price it's at. You shouldn't be worrying about you not making profits. And essentially that's the problem and the reason why a lot of people lose money. And I'm telling you based on experience with what happened to me in the past. Like essentially I would just chase plays just to chase plays. So that's when you start to lose money. And I remember when everybody was chasing this Crody play, and everybody was chasing it like right here, dude. A lot of you guys were actually chasing Crody right here, and essentially I told you guys, I was like, hey, like I'm gonna wait for this shit to like dump 80 to 90%, and then I'm gonna consider jumping into it. And that's exactly what I did. Like as soon as it topped, I ended up buying right here at this 87% dip, and I just been dollar cost averaging. I've been dollar cost averaging all the way from that 87 to that 92% dip, right? And this is essentially where you buy. Like you buy when no one cares about it anymore. People lost hope. That's when you make the money. Like that's like when you're so confident in something and you understand what you're investing in. This is the reason why I'm telling you, like, don't be influenced by influencers, anybody telling you what to buy, like not even me telling you what to buy. Like you guys can do whatever the fuck you guys want to do, man. I'm gonna be completely honest. I essentially really, it doesn't matter, right? I'm here to provide you the value, and it's up to you to decide if you want to go ahead and take action. And there's a lot of things we're going to agree to disagree, and that's completely normal. We're humans. We're not supposed to agree on everything. And if we did, that'd be a pretty boring life, right? But essentially, we're in this space where, like, even with the influencers, like, if you don't agree with them, like, they get booty tickled about things, and they get mad about it. It's like, no, dude, it's like, you just got to go ahead and double down on what you understand. And if you understand certain tokens, then just double down on that, right? Like, try not to get influenced by anybody, because essentially a lot of these influencers are just getting paid by these freaking tokens, these teams. If they're not the ones behind the token, they're like dumping on you, bro. Like that's the reality of what it is. Like, if a lot of you knew like what goes behind like the scenes, and I'm sure a lot of you now know, but like essentially a lot of these bigger influencers, like the ones that are shilling these tokens, they're essentially you're their exit liquidity. I'm sorry to tell you, but that's really how it works. And the same thing with a lot of the influencers on Twitter. Like that's the reason why I don't believe any of that shit, and I don't follow any influencers, because essentially they're all full of shit, and they're all getting paid, shilling you a token, and they're not telling you that shit, and they're just telling you to buy because it's going to go to the moon, right? And it does completely the opposite. They're like selling behind your back, right? I don't know how they could do that, man. I mean, to each its own. You know, to each his own. I wouldn't be able to do that, right? I wouldn't be able to sit here and lie to you guys and sell you something that I know it's going to lose you money. That's just me. But essentially, you know, if the market doesn't break, and this is what I've been seeing with a lot of the meme tokens overall, not just Crody, like if Crody, even, let's just say Crody right here, right, in this example, if Crody doesn't break above this zone right here and does a move like this, then we're going to go down even lower, and I'm ready for it. I'm prepared. I've already mentally prepared myself for this dip, and this is going to be another additional 70% dip. So, worst case scenario, what I'm planning, like I said, I'm already 14 SOL in. So worst case scenario, if we were to drop another 70%, like I'm just going to go ahead and throw in like 3 or 4 more SOL at like around this zone right here, and I'm just going to call it a day and just hold for the next 6 to 8 months and see where it goes. Essentially, I think your best bet is just going to be dollar cost averaging. I think I've still got a pretty good bottom, so I'm not complaining on my position on there. And a lot of these tokens on Solana essentially dumped as well too. So I've been telling a lot of you, like, whatever tokens you guys believe in, not financial advice, it would probably be your best bet, like dollar cost averaging and what you believe in, right? This is the time, right? This is the time to go ahead and buy your Myros, to go ahead and buy your Anonymous, your Andes, your AMCs, your Bowdens, your Crodies if you want, right? Like that's essentially the time when you want to buy. Like right now with Myro, like I think Myro is going to be a $1 plus token, right? And from this range right here, like this is a pretty good fucking buying zone. Like I've been wanting to get a freaking 10 cents, and from $1, that's about a 10x, bro. So this is like it has over 2.64 million of liquidity on a decentralized exchange. I know they're listed on several centralized exchanges, and you could essentially have like 10, 20, 30 grand in this shit, and you don't really have to worry too much on liquidity, unless there's a huge whale that's holding like over 80% or 50% of liquidity. But like not looking too deeply into the contract like that, like just from the outside, 2.64 million plus they're in centralized exchanges like crypto.com. You don't really have to worry too much about not having enough liquidity, right? So, Myro from these ranges right here is freaking solid. And I think a lot of these tokens are bringing in those opportunities such as Aerodrome. I'm a big believer of Aerodrome as well. I've been seeing Litecoin. Litecoin's been doing freaking some crazy numbers too, as like, I think it's near 60 something, I think, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe 70 something. Let's see, we're 64, bro. Like 64. Like that's a good price. Like if Litecoin ever goes to $40, you already know what I'm buying. And the reason why is because if you look at its all-time high, last bull run, Litecoin went as high as 342. So I'm thinking that, possibly Litecoin could probably be going as high as like $600 plus. Which is not that crazy, but you got to keep in mind, we also want to have a diversified portfolio as time goes on. Right now, I'm just fully 100% in meme tokens. Specifically, my only Solana meme token right now is Crody, Anonymous, and on Baze, it's going to be Andy and Benny. I've just been doubling down on those. Andy, unfortunately, I guess, depending on the way you look at it, has dumped a lot. And my position I threw in right here is now worth like 70% less. So hopefully this move doesn't happen for Andy. But also, as I mentioned, I'm mentally prepared for this move to happen. So I haven't sold the bag with any of these. I've been in Andy since back over here. So even if we were to see a move all the way back over here, dude, like that's going to be a buying opportunity. So essentially right now, I'm not deploying capital into the market. Like I'm okay with my positions, and I'm just gonna go ahead and wait. Like I'm just not willing to go ahead and throw in more powder into this market right now, because if this market does dump even further, and let's say we do go below 50, or maybe let's say worst case scenario we do fall to 40, the altcoins and the meme tokens are gonna take a big freaking hit, bro. Big freaking hit, and it's gonna dump even more, and there's gonna be so much freaking panic, and it's also gonna be a fire sale, right? So like, if worst case scenario we were to see a move like that, then I would just go ahead and load up on the dip. But like, let's say if this is the bottom, like I'm pretty okay on the positions that I'm in. Like I'm okay. I'm not willing to go ahead and throw in more right now in this market, because I think there's a possibility of more downside than upside. But right now I am leaning more towards the bullish side. Spiceman, how's it going, bro? Hope you're having a good one. Keep up the grind. Most of the theories have been correct. What do you think of Bird Dog? Go ahead and provide the Bird Dog smart contract, bro. I've been looking for that token for a while. I just haven't been able to come across it. Let's go ahead and look at this token that Tillery's sharing. Looks like they updated DEX tools. I'm bullish on Landwolf, but I'm more bullish on Landwolf on Avalanche. Like for me personally, I feel like I'm already overexposed to Solana meme tokens. So for me personally, I just wouldn't be touching. I'm not going to be touching Landwolf. I'm going to be completely honest. And the reason why is because I think it's already pretty high at 121 million market cap. Like it's just way too high. Maybe I'm underestimating this, and this thing goes even higher. But like realistically, how high can it really go, right? Like a 2x. I think there's more downside than upside in my opinion. It doesn't mean it won't go up, but like to me, like at 117 million, that's just too much of a risk, especially with what's going on in the market. So, but if we were to go ahead and see like Landwolf do a move like this, where it falls down, and it does something like this, then yeah, I'd definitely entertain picking something up. But Landwolf right now for me is it's just too risky. It just doesn't make any sense for me. I mean, it's at 117 million market cap with 2.13 million liquidity. Like, to me, it just doesn't make any sense, right? So, I mean, if I was the one buying over here, then it'd be a whole different story. But I think there's more downside than upside. I mean, look at that. That was like over a 60x. So, yeah, I would have enjoyed having the chart back over here. But to me, these levels were a little too high for my liking. But if we were to see a move like this, then yeah, I would definitely consider it. I'm a little bit more bullish towards the AVAX one. I'm gonna be completely honest. I think the AVAX Landwolf is undervalued. And if I was to go ahead and get into a Landwolf, it would definitely be the one on Avalanche. Where's the one on Avalanche? It'd definitely be the one on Avalanche. And the reason why is because that has already shown proof of success, and this is at a bottom, guys, and this is what I'm telling you. Like sometimes we get distracted by the shiny objects, and we have a tendency to buy a lot of these tokens like here, and this is the reason why I always tell you guys, like don't FOMO, because eventually like it's gonna all come down. Like it can't go up forever, right? And that's the reason why like a lot of these tokens I have missed out. I've missed out on a lot of opportunities. I'm not gonna go ahead and sit here and lie to you that I haven't missed out on a lot of opportunities, but I'm trying to be a little bit more disciplined with what I tell myself I'm going to do, right? Like if I'm going to tell myself I'm not going to jump in the market, I'm not going to jump in the market, right? And essentially that's the kind of discipline you also want to build. And I feel like that's the discipline that I was lacking these last couple months, right? And I feel like now that's the discipline that I've been growing into my trading, that like now I didn't even deploy capital this month. I think I don't even know, bro, honestly. But I don't think I've deployed capital for crypto, or maybe I have, but it wasn't that much these last 2 weeks that I don't remember. Obviously, I think I might have bought the dip on Crody. So I'll take that back. But I didn't throw in that much money. I probably only threw in like a total $200, bro. $200. And usually I would go in like with a few grand back in the day and lose it all in one day, getting wrecked leverage trading, right? So like I don't do that shit anymore. I am going to leverage trade again once this bottom's in, but I want to know when the bottom is in. And for me personally, like I think Avalanche is going to do very, very well this cycle. So like I'm even bullish on Avalanche. Like if we were to go ahead and look at AVAX, like AVAX on its own is pretty bullish in my opinion. Like this thing has dumped a lot since March. I think in March it was at like $60. Yeah, it was like around 16. Right now it's like 26. And its all-time high from last bull run was at around $80, $120. So maybe this bull run it goes to $300. That's what I'm thinking, right? So like Land Wolf on AVAX, this is what I would be buying. You know, like not financial advice, and I haven't bought it yet, right? So hopefully this doesn't run up before I buy it. I might consider, you know, jumping in. Maybe I'll throw in a $200 on this just to go ahead and be exposed to the market. Now that I think about it, or I might just wait a week or two and throw in money to see where the market goes. But essentially, like this is when you want to be buying. Like when no one is paying attention to it, when no one cares about it. This thing's at 5 million, man. This is way underneath the one in Solana. Like I think this one, for in my opinion, is going to be the winner. But I would always recommend just being in all of them, and that's what you want. You want exposure to all of them. Fuck, get all of them. Get the one on ETH, get the one on Solana, you know? But for me, I think Land Wolf on AVAX is like the original one. And I think AVAX this season might go up to like $300, so. And the one on Land Wolf on AVAX is fucking down like a lot, bro. And like to me this is attractive, man. Like to me this is what I find attractive, when a chart's down 90% and no one's like thinking about it. Like it's not in the person's head right now to buy this shit. Like they're actually selling because they're being chicken shits and people are panicking, right? So essentially this is why I'm telling you, if you understand what you're buying into and what you're investing into, you're not gonna panic. Like you're just gonna go ahead and buy the dip as it falls. Like that's like if you understand what you're investing. And this is essentially why I would never tell anybody go ahead and buy this, right? Like buy in what you believe in. Like if you believe in Land Wolf on Solana, you go buy it, but own it. Like understand why it's bullish, understand the price levels, your risk to reward, understand all of that information, right? And like I mentioned, Land Wolf, I've been watching this shit since back when this shit took off. Like this shit took off back in March, and I was so pissed, and I was like, why did I know about AVAX, man? Like why didn't I know about AVAX? And look at this, it repeats the same shit. Like I'm telling you, like humans are so predictable, and so is trading, bro. Like trading's so predictable. Like look, this is what usually happens with every token, is they pump a lot, they dump for a lot of days. This thing it's literally consolidating for almost 2 months of no activity, and then out of nowhere it just fucking pumped. Coming March, it just fucking pumped. Like look at this, over a 17x. Like if you would have just like dollar cost average and bought in what you believed in. See, I missed out this wave right here, and I missed out this wave right here. I'm definitely not going to miss out the third wave. And this is the wave that we're going into. Like even if we go onto log mode and we zoom out, like what do you think we're going to next on Land Wolf on this thing? Like let's say this is the bottom, right? We're probably going to see something like this, where it goes like this, maybe it goes a little bit higher. We might see something like this. Essentially what it always happens is that it breaks and then it finds this new support. So it might go ahead and go like this, and then it might just go like this. And essentially this is going to be the next third leg up, the third wave, before we have the fourth one, which then does something like this. and then it's literally just a rinse and repeat. It's like, and this is every chart. Like, this is not just AVAX on Avalanche. It's like, this is almost every meme token that is destined to do well. Like, it's going to be like this. And you're just going to miss out on every pump and every dump because you're too scared. You just don't believe in what you're getting into. And essentially, this is the reason why I'm saying, like, all you have to do is just buy, hold on to the token you believe into, and just be patient. Like, I'm literally just in Andy, Benny on base, so I'm in 2 base tokens. I double down on all of those, triple down, and then on Solana, the only 2 tokens I'm holding on to is Crody and Anonymous. I literally only have 4 tokens in my bag. Like, that's literally all I have, and I understand those, like, literally, I understand everything about those tokens, right? Essentially, that's how you have to be. Like, some of you just hold way too many tokens. You're overly spread. Like, you probably hold over 30, and you don't even know fucking half of that shit. You don't even know what half of that shit even does. And essentially, like during a bull market, you really don't need to know what it does. But, like, the problem is that most people, like, forget or don't keep up with news, and then they're screwed when they do, like, a V2, or, like, if the token is no longer as hyped as they believed, right? Like, all you have to do is just remember this. Less is more. That's what it is. Less is more. The less you have, it's actually more for you, right? I'm only in 4 tokens, and those fucking 4 tokens, I know everything about those 4 tokens. I'll take that back. I don't know everything. I know what I need to know in order to feel confident to double down on my analysis and my predictions. Like, Benny and Andy, like, Benny specifically has been underperforming, bro. Like, it has been doing terrible, and it's probably going to go down even lower if this market, like, look, like this is where I'm thinking it might go down to if this is not the fucking bottom. Like, I'm almost nearly like a break even right here with Benny, and I could have also taken profits when I was up over here, when I bought him back over here, but I didn't. I just went ahead and held, and honestly, it's all right because I'm going to go ahead and probably sell in the next wave up, maybe in the next second or third wave up. I'm not looking to go ahead and sell until the next 6 to 8 months. And that's if the market still stays in the same conditions that we're looking at, right? Unless the market gives me some major red flags that I'm like, okay, you know what? It might be time to, like, just get rid of everything. But essentially, I think this market still has about, let's just say, 8 to 14 months left. It might be even 6 to 14 months. So, like, that's what I'm really thinking how long the market's going to be. It could be anywhere between 6 to 14 months. Like we could be near, like, the biggest fucking bull run, or we could be near the end of one. and I don't think we're near the end to one, but just keep in mind it could happen, right? It could happen. It could be a possibility. I don't think so. I really doubt it. But just also keep that in mind, right? It looks like Wolf on base is also popping right now. But, like, see, like, I don't try to chase all this shit. Like, essentially, dude, if I missed out, I fucking missed out. It is what it is. But, like I mentioned, like, a lot of these altcoins too, like, these are at some very juicy levels. Like, the reason why I wasn't getting on altcoins was because I thought they were overpriced, bro. I was like, dude, I'm not gonna fucking get in this shit. This shit's too expensive right now. But, like, even Uniswap, I was looking at Uniswap, I was looking at Radium. Jupiter, I think, is going to do good. Maybe even consider, I know there's a lot of hype in Sui. I would have never bought Sui, like, these last couple months, and now, like, I would consider buying fucking Sui, bro, because it has dumped a lot. It's practically at a discount. Look, like, I've literally been calling the TA on Sui since back over here at 84 cents. And it literally did exactly what I predicted it was going to happen. And I'm no fucking wizard. All I did was look at data and just followed where the data was telling me it was going to go. And that's essentially what you have to do in this market, right? So this is kind of the reason why I'm not fully confident of where things are going, because if this is not the bottom, like, this is not just a Sui thing, but this is a lot of the altcoins and meme tokens. Sui's going to fucking dump all the way to fucking 30 cents, 40 cents, and people are going to lose their mind. And I'm going to be USDC ready to the side cash ready, and I'm going to be ready to fucking buy those dips, man. So I'm like low-key kind of hoping the market does continue to fall, because if it continues to fall, then I'll be able to it'll give me more time to stack up more USDT to the side to when it does dump, when it does do that additional 30, 40, 80% additional dump, then I load up on the dips, bro. So like I'm mentally prepared for either direction to happen. Like if this is the bottom, well then cool. If this is not the bottom, well then fucking cool too. I really don't care, right? Because I have more of a longer term mindset right now. I'm thinking 6 to 8 months down the line. Like this shit doesn't have to moon tomorrow. I could really care less, right? I could really care less if this thing doesn't moon tonight, if it doesn't move tomorrow, because I fucking missed all of this action, bro. I wasn't in the tokens during this whole entire run up. So essentially, like, I didn't enter any of them because I was waiting for a move that we're witnessing right now. So this move has been the opportunity of a lifetime that I've been waiting for. So when you have a different perspective on a lot of things, it's going to excite you the most, right? So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm just like, if this shit fucking dumps, bro, it's going to fucking hurt. I'm not going to lie to you, because I'm fully exposed to meme tokens, and these meme tokens are essentially going to probably dump another 80%, especially Crody. Crody has been showing some signs of bullishness and buying pressure, but like, I mean, even then, I mean, look at Crody right now. Like it could probably fucking do one of these, man. It could probably do one of these moves where it falls like this and it does this. And that's going to definitely fucking hurt me, because I'm probably going to go ahead and be down another 80% from where I'm at right here. This is another additional 89% dump. So, yeah, like, it's definitely not what I want to go ahead and see. But I'm mentally prepared, and this is what I'm telling all of you right now. I think this is the bottom. I'm confident with what we're seeing. I told you that the DXY is showing some very positive signs. Last live stream, I talked about how I wanted to see the dollar break below that 105 area, but I'm still questioning, is this a fake out? Is the dollar going to do a reversal coming Monday where it just does this? I hope not, but if the dollar does continue to fall, then this is the bottom for the market. And there's some bullish things that we're seeing, like the DXY has broken support, bullish. Stock market closing on Friday, green or neutral, bullish, right? So like those two things are already bullish for me. And the fact that Bitcoin right now seems to also be forming some sort of bottom near, like if this is not the bottom, I think, worst case scenarios, I'm telling you, $47,000 is going to be the bottom for Bitcoin, if this is not the bottom, right? So essentially, it's like, if this is not the bottom, we're near a bottom. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like we're either in a bottom or we're near a bottom. I don't know. I wish I was able to tell you exactly where the fuck the market's going, but I'm going to be completely honest, I don't fucking know. And neither does nobody else, right? Because everybody that tells you they know where the market's going, they're full of shit. But like I mentioned, I think the worst case scenario is we see Bitcoin fall to 47. Now, what will definitely panic the market like a lot, and it'll definitely be scary, is us going to $40,000. I don't think that will happen, but you always have to go ahead and think of those scenarios, right? So I think we're near bottom. I think this is the time where you just want a dollar cost average. Don't go all in just yet. As I mentioned, I'm already loaded enough to what I feel comfortable with on my positions. I feel like I'm already overexposed. So I'm just freaking just USDC right now on the side. Like, I'm not planning on deploying any more capital in the next coming weeks. Like maybe even the next coming months. I don't know. It just really depends. But like right now, I'm completely honest. I'm done deploying capital into the market. Like I'm chilling right now like a chinchilla, because I think there's more it's a little bit more of a higher risk to the downside than there is to the upside right now. But if this is the bottom, then I'm okay with my positions that I'm in. Like, I'm okay with what I have. Obviously, I will throw more money, but I'll throw in more money when I see more confidence in the market. Because right now, essentially, we don't have the confidence. So, like, that's what's going on right now. Like, we had the ETF for Bitcoin, we had the Bitcoin halving, and just people had high hopes and had high expectations, and those expectations were met. And this is the reason why we're seeing what we're seeing right now in the market. So this is why we're seeing this kind of movement. And also, if you go ahead and look at the fucking the 1 monthly, dude, fucking Bitcoin has been going up for like 5 to 6 months. Like, what the fuck do you expect, right? It's like, look, it's been going on since September. Like, if a lot of you have been following me since September, I was loading up on memes. I was telling a lot of you, like, back in October. You know, so like like towards the ends of October, November, that's when we had a lot of the altcoins and meme tokens start to take off. So essentially, that's when Bitcoin's bottom was in, and I called that shit too. I called Bitcoin's bottom, and I've also called Bitcoin's top so far. Right now, we'll see where it goes, you know. But so far, every freaking top and bottom I've been able to freaking call. Like, literally, if you go back to most of my videos, I've been able to call. I called most short squeezes. I've called most bottoms on Bitcoin. I've called most tops on Bitcoin when everybody doubted me, and it was the whole entire ETF talk. I told everybody Bitcoin was in a dump, and guess what? Fucking Bitcoin dumped. And people are like, oh, John, wow, how did you fucking know? You must be a wizard. And I'm like, no, bro, it's because I just look at fucking data. And I'm giving you the same fucking data, and yet you still decide to ignore it, right? It's like data is like data will give you the information. Like, the market's more predictable than what people make it seem like. Like, they make it seem like this is like so complicated and so hard, and it's not. It's really not. Literally, it's really, really fucking predictable, and it literally does the same moves over and over and over and over again. Just like it did over here. A lot of you were longing Bitcoin at $47,000. And when Bitcoin dumped, as I called it, a lot of you were shorting Bitcoin. And when I told you not to short Bitcoin, that there was going to be a high probability of a short squeeze, guess what happened? Bitcoin went from $39,000, from $42,000 to then as high as $70,000. It's really fucking predictable, man. Really predictable. So, as I'm telling you, we'll see where things go. Yeah, I mean, I think right now it's really important for me to be making more streams, just due to the fact that there's a lot of negativity in the market. But it's all about perspective, right? It's all about the perspective of the way you look at this. And it doesn't do it any better when most of the fucking influencers that we have in this space fucking don't know what the fuck they're talking about. So, you know, definitely does not bring any confidence to this market. And this is the reason why this market's so fucking volatile, man. Like people just can't make up their mind. People are just so emotionally attached to the markets. And this is the reason why we have such a high volatility. And it's interesting because the stock market has been printing and making new all-time highs while Bitcoin hasn't done shit, man. Bitcoin has been lagging behind. Like, the crypto market has been lagging. And that's the thing that's very interesting with what we've been seeing right now in this market. So it's definitely some things we've never before seen, right? Like, the market should have already been pumping. And that could be a good thing, right? That could just mean that we're probably going to see a massive delay in the market, where we're delayed by a lot, and then out of nowhere when we pump, we're gonna fucking pump like crazy. But I think what this was, it was more of like an ego check for the market, right? Essentially what the market does for you is that the market will go ahead and make you money and give you money. Like, the trades, like, things will go in your favor forever, bro, especially in the market. Like, you'll get in a zone where you're making so much money that you think like you're the smartest person alive, right? Essentially, then you go ahead and reach the top where that luck starts dying off. And it's not really luck, it's just that the market has finally now topped off. But yeah, because you made all that money here, you thought you were like the fucking smartest Warren Buffett trader that was able to time the bottom of the market and top it. And essentially, you just happen to get in at the right time of the market, but you just weren't able to realize that, right? Because your ego probably got a little too big. And essentially, this is what happens. A lot of people start doubling down on their positions, like, oh, there's no way Bitcoin can't fall from here. So they continued along. So what happens is that there's so much greed in the market that because the traders made all the money right here, and they're up hundreds of thousands of millions of dollars, they're going to go ahead and double down right here. So essentially what happens is that it goes up, and then guess what happens? Bam! People get liquidated. And this is the reason why the market moves quicker to the downside, as I always mention. Like, it always takes forever for the market to go up. Like, for the market to go up, it's not too fast, in my opinion. I think what goes down, what really comes down very quickly in the market is when it reaches the top. Essentially, you look at it as a roller coaster, right? It's like you're in a roller coaster, and it takes a while to climb up that mountain, right? Or even if you're walking, if you're hiking, whatever the case is. But once you reach the top of that mountain, guess what fucking happens? You just freaking all the way down. And just keep in mind, like stop losses, liquidations are getting triggered, people are panicking. Like, just human psychology is more than likely willing to go ahead and buy right here than buy right here. Like, most people would go ahead and buy right here in the green as opposed to buying in the red. Like, they buy green and they sell red. And that's some psychology behind it, right? I don't know what goes on there. But essentially that's what we do as humans, right? So this is the reason why we see this volatile market, and then people blame it on, like, oh, it's the ETF that got rejected. Oh, it's the Mount Grox or whatever the fuck it's called. They're selling their Bitcoin. Like, oh, we're not getting enough Bitcoin inflows today. You know, like some bullshit. Like you guys really believe these lies. Like look, Mount Gox doomsday. like this is the funniest shit ever. It's like this shit. The markets are so manipulated. It's not even funny. Like, this is the reason why I don't look at these kind of news. I just like to look at them just to laugh and just to understand the kind of game they're playing. But essentially, a lot of these news are just full of shit, man. Like, the same people that are pumping and dumping the market, they're the same people that are paying to go ahead and publish these articles to go ahead and have you panic. That's really what it is. It's always been like that, and it's always going to be like that. Like, what makes you think that crypto manipulation is going to be any different from the stock market manipulation? It's not. It's the same shit. The big players are running this space in crypto now, and they will continue to run this shit as more ETFs continue to get approved. And this is the reason why I've always been bearish on ETFs, because that just means there's going to be more institutional money with more money being able to control. Like, they'll be able to control the market, and that's essentially what they're doing. Like, the whales are in control of the market. There's more sellers in the market than there is buyers. And the reason why, as I mentioned, is because as things tend to fall, people tend to panic. And the reason being is because most people don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't understand any of this. And I'm not talking about the charts. I'm just talking about, like, crypto cycles, like what's going on with the economy. Like, there's a huge influence to what's going on with, like, the presidential election right now in the market. There's a huge influence into a lot of that shit. You know, there's a huge influence to what happens in the stock market gets affected by the crypto market. Yeah, people don't understand that, right? They just think that, like, meme tokens run on their own thing. It's like, for meme tokens to perform, we also need to go ahead and have that confidence in Bitcoin in order for the lower caps to perform. So, and that's what people don't understand, right? It's like it's essentially all correlated, bro. Like, the CPI data, the unemployment, retail spending, housing, all of this is, there's a huge influence to the crypto market. And just people just overlook that, right? They just don't even, like, bother understanding or studying about that, because all they want to know is when moon. So when fucking this shit goes the opposite way, and they're like, when moon, they start panicking and they start losing money, because essentially they don't know any of this shit. But you need to understand a lot of this data to be able to understand where the market's going to go. So that's kind of the reason why, like I'm saying, like I don't think this is the bottom. This is the top for the market. A lot of people are screaming, you know what? This is the top for the market. Well, it's gonna be interesting who gets selected, right? Let's see what presidential candidate gets selected this year. But essentially, you know, as we all know, if Trump gets elected, he's pushing for a weaker dollar, which is going to be very bullish for us. So if he could go ahead and push for a weaker dollar, like this is going to be extremely fucking bullish for us. And that's when crypto is going to take off. You know, that's more easy money coming into the economy, more money printing, which, you know, in the long run is going to affect us again. You know, inflation, like what we're seeing right now, high interest rates, we're seeing high cost of living, high inflation. It's what we saw from fucking 3 years ago, right? When, you know, the government was printing all this free money, which is not fucking free, but they're printing all these stimulus checks. They're printing, you know, when we had all the those business loans, the SBA loans, and all that shit. There was a lot of fraud that happened, you know, in those 3 years with EDD and all that shit. And essentially, you know, nobody was complaining when the money was coming in for free, right? And in the back of my head, that whole entire time, those 3 years, I'm like, fuck, dude, we're going to be so fucked in the next coming years. Because essentially, we're going to have to pay a price for that, right? It's like the student loan forgiveness. Like, how the fuck do you think we're going to pay for that? Has that ever fucking crossed your mind? It just seems like people don't think about any of this, right? It's like, I just don't understand that. Like, I mean, the system that we have, it is a blame, right? It's like it's obviously meant for us not to be educated and understand how these complex markets actually work and affect our everyday lives. But you have to understand a lot of this shit, and it might be boring, but essentially you have to understand how it works. And the more you understand how these markets move, how they work, the more confident you're going to be when you're in the market, right? With whatever you're doing, with whatever market you're in. You're going to understand it because you know what's going to happen, right? And I know what's going to happen in the next 6 to 8 months. Like this is like a deja vu. If a lot of you were here last bull run, this is like a deja vu when we had that last shakeout into the market, and then following July, if you guys remember, I can't remember what year it was, maybe it was 2021 or 2020, but ending that summer, like following August, leading into like December, that's when everything fucking ran, bro. Literally like every fucking month. And that's the kind of deja vu that I'm getting right now. It's like, dude, it's like I feel like I'm going through this again. It's like what I went through that one time. It almost feels exactly the same. Like, market's dumb, people panic, people make a lot of money, and then out of nowhere, like, no one's paying attention, everybody's crying because because their crypto's not to the moon. And then out of nowhere, when they like forget it, or they sell it at a loss, or they exit the market goes to the moon, bro. This shit happened to me with SHIB. I can't remember what year this was, probably 2020, 2021. I don't remember, but I remember with SHIB, I literally sold like 2 weeks before it just pumped out of nowhere. And I remember clearly those following months from July, after the ends of July, like towards August, September, that's usually when the market starts to pick up, right? But this time's a little different. We have the presidential election. So that's where like my only concern is like, where is this market really going to go, right? So I really don't believe what the fuck's going to go on. So this is the reason why I'm saying 6 to 14 months of this market left. Like, this, by November, I think, like, by November, December, like, if shit doesn't pick up, then, I don't know, it might be the top of the market, but I don't think so. I just don't think the U.S. is going to allow a president to get selected and then the market to collapse. Like, I just don't see that. Like, the U.S. has too much of a big ego for that to happen. So I practically don't think that we will have like a stock market crash. Like, people calling for a stock market crash, bro, are just full of shit. They're gonna call it eventually one day, right? But this is not the time to call for a market crash. Like, a market crash is not gonna fucking happen like anytime soon. And I'm talking about like in the next 6 to 14 months. So it depends on what you consider it being soon. But I mean, realistically, 6 to 14 months, I think it's plenty of time for us to get prepared. And I'm hoping it's not the 6 months. I'm hoping it's more like towards 2025, summer 2025 or spring 2025 is when that's the top of the market. And that's when, we enter a bear market again. Hopefully that's the case, because that'd be nice. That'd mean essentially we'll have technically almost about a year left of the market, and that'd be very, very fun. But like I mentioned, we no one knows, and fingers crossed, whoever gets selected in the U.S. and essentially is going to affect it worldwide too. But because unfortunately, I'm going to be completely honest with you, the crypto market is heavily influenced by the U.S. So even though you might not be in the U.S., it's going to affect your fucking crypto, bro. Like, just best believe. Like, if you've noticed, like, the U.S. has been going out after every fucking exchange, like literally after everyone, for whatever reason the U.S. wants to be. The U.S. just wants to do it just because they want to do it. It's like they're going after all these crypto exchanges or preventing everybody from buying crypto. Like they're just trying to figure out a way on how they could tax the Americans more money, right? So that's essentially what's going on. So this is the reason why we're going through all these bullshit lawsuits and all of this, when literally most of these exchanges are not even operating in the U.S. So how does that make any sense, right? How can the U.S. go after them? I don't know. But essentially, the U.S. is just causing chaos right now in crypto to prevent people from going into crypto and making it harder and not making it as attractive until they get their tools and instruments ready for the market. Like, you think Wall Street is getting the ETFs ready for you and I? Like really think about it. Like sit down and think. Like, do you really think Wall Street is thinking about how you and I are going to do in the future? They're not. They don't care. They're just here to make money, and they realize that with crypto, they're not able to stop it. So, but because they can't stop it, guess what they're gonna do? They're gonna go ahead and try to control it, and the way they control that is through regulation and through them exposing it through ETFs, and finally, accepting it and saying, you know what, we can't take over crypto, but let's go ahead and give you our financial instruments. And that's essentially what's going on right now. So this whole entire real world asset kind of thing, and these ETFs are like counteractive of what blockchain is supposed to be, like being a decentralized market. I feel like that's what these institutions are going to be killing. But fuck, man, we just have to make money, and this is what I'm saying. Like, this is very, very important that we make as much money as we can, and we're fully exposed to the decentralized markets, because of the fact that as we have these institutional players, there will be more opportunities. But those opportunities will only be presented to those that are ready, right? And realistically, most people aren't ready. So most people are going to go ahead and miss those opportunities. But if this is not your first rodeo on how the markets are, like, what I'm talking about. Like, you're like, dude, like, I totally feel you. Like, I'm getting that feeling too. Like, I know what you're saying, John. Like, I'm totally with you. Like, I made a lot of mistakes in the past. Like I know what you mean, bro. And essentially, you understand, right? So you're good. So you're probably also laughing when you're seeing everybody panic in the market. And like I said, like, we can't blame those people, because the fucking influencers we have in this space are full of shit to begin with, right? So it's like sheep leading sheep, man. You can't make this shit up. So essentially, you just can't feel bad, like, fully, like, the fact that these influencers don't even know shit either. But essentially, it's like the blind leading the blind, and that's what we have in this crypto space. Realistically, it's like the blind leading the blind. Like most of the people that are pretty big and have big channels don't know what the fuck they're talking about. That's why I don't watch them. I don't watch any of these influencers on YouTube. And if I do, I'm listening to traders. That's really the only, and that's what I would recommend you guys to do. Like, if you guys watch any influencers in this space, like, watch traders, bro. Watch people that actually trade the market and can show you proof to it. and you'll learn a lot. And I could distinguish like I'm at a point where when it comes to crypto, I could distinguish the people that are full of shit and the ones that are not. And I could tell you there's like, this space is probably like 99% of people full of shit. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They just so happen to either get lucky or they got famous by somebody else, or they're pushing their own token and they're dumping it on you and they're making it seem like they're like the smartest genius trader ever. And they're like, yeah, look at my gains. I'm the fucking best trader. Like, you want to learn? And essentially that's what they also do. So there's a whole entire ballgame that's being played in this crypto space and this influencer space, and it's kind of fucked up, to be honest. It's pretty fucked up, and I'm telling you from personal experience, you know, like I used to watch a lot of these top influencers, which I won't name, but I'm sure a lot of you could imagine who, and a lot of the tokens they were shilling, dude, they fucking went to zero. Scams. So I learned my lesson, and I was like, yeah, I'm never, ever going to listen to a freaking influencer, dude. And, yeah, so I haven't done that. You know what I mean? If I do watch any crypto influencer, which I don't, it'd just be for entertainment, you know what I mean? Like, and that's what you guys should all be doing as well. You guys shouldn't be taking any advice from these people to begin with anyways. Hey Dabs, how's it going, bro? Long time no see. Mohammed, ad reward is a low cap gem coin at Gate Exchange, 8x potential. Nano was watching, only 6 likes. Yeah, hit that like button, man. Hey, what's up, Vernon? How's it going, buddy? Hello, Dabmaster. How was the market been trading you as of late? Vernon says, always good to catch another one of John's streams. Appreciate it, man. I've been just enjoying my summer, really haven't messed around with the market too much. Hey, that's a good thing you've been doing, Vernon, honestly, bro. That's a good thing. It's good you're taking a break from the market, bro. Like, when you come back in the market, it's gonna fucking, you didn't make a killing. Steve, how's it going, man? Bags are packed and ready for Valhalla. Let's fucking go, man. Hope you're doing well, Steve. Vernon says, hasn't been the greatest. It has been sidelining me for trading at times where I really should have been, but I've been managed. At least I performed decently. Yeah, man. I mean, honestly, Vernon, like, your best bet would just be coming down onto coming out with a strategy of just dollar cost averaging with your busy schedule. Like, that's practically what I'm doing right now, bro. It's like I'm so busy right now that, like, I'm not even actively trading, right? I'm just dollar cost averaging. That's why I'm telling you, like, essentially, like, I really don't care where the price goes, because I don't even really have the time to just, like, complain so much of where the markets are going, right? I'm just so busy every day that, like, I mean, it pisses me off. I'm not going to sit here and tell you it doesn't hurt looking at my portfolio dump 80%. Like, of course it hurts, you know? But what I'm trying to tell you is that there's nothing we could fucking do. There's nothing we could do. All we could go ahead and do is just sit down, be patient, and make more money. And that's really all we could go ahead and have control of. We could only control the controllables. But essentially, as I'm saying, like, I'm getting the same feeling as we got before the market took off, and it's freaking wild. So we'll see where things go. Like I said, don't be surprised if we see Bitcoin go down to 50,000. Ideally, like I mentioned, $47,000 would be the worst that I see Bitcoin going down to. So just be prepared, you know. And this is why I'm making these streams, because I do think that, unfortunately, we could see more downside. Unfortunately, we could see more downside, and this is why I told myself, like, you know what, dude, I have to hop on stream, because there's a lot and there's a little bit to talk about. It's like, if we see this thing get rejected from where we're at, it's not going to look too good. And there's going to be so much fucking panic, and all these top influencers are going to go ahead and be probably telling you to sell, that it's time to exit the market. And it's going to freak out a lot of people, unfortunately. And you're going to probably listen, and you're going to sell, or you're going to get wrecked. And then the market's going to go up, and you're going to even regret it even more that happened, right? So that's kind of the reason why I kind of felt like it was a duty for me to stream today, because I do think there's a possibility that this market could go down further, and I think that would be the last wick. Like, I think if the market does go down one more time, this is going to be the last dump. And this is why why I wanted to go ahead and stream, because I don't want any of you to freak out, especially if you're like me, where you're mostly leveraged on a lot of these meme tokens. Like, my portfolio is just 100% meme tokens right now. So me even thinking and considering of Bitcoin going to $47,000 in the coming days, you know what that's going to do to the meme tokens. Like, it might do one or two things. This might be the bottom for most meme tokens, or we still have an additional 80% to the downside. And I'm hoping that this is the bottom for crypto, because it's definitely going to be difficult stomaching like another 90-80% retracement on of the meme tokens. But I'm ready, is what I'm saying, you know, and that's, you guys should be ready as well. So don't be surprised if we see that kind of movement. But anyways, guys, go ahead and support the channel by using my link down below. Blofin, $5,000 in sign-up bonuses, no KYC, best exchange out there right now. And yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to making more content. This is my video for Sunday and the market ahead of us. So I'll probably won't be streaming tomorrow, Sunday. I think it's already about to be Sunday for me. I'm not going to be streaming Sunday because that's exactly what I'm doing this video for. I got work on Monday, so we're back on the grind. So I definitely probably won't be uploading on Sunday, but just be prepared, man. And I hope all of you have a wonderful rest of your day. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch all of you on to the next one, all right? Later. Take care. Bye. Appreciate you all coming in, by the way. Vernon, Taylor, it was great seeing you, man. Mohammed, Dadmaster, Steve, Spiceman.